Good evening, Tallahassee. This is student meteorologist Chris Malva here. Welcome to your very first FSU weather show of the 2025 through 2026 school year. It's going to be a great show. A little bit of a smaller show today, but we got a lot of fun stuff planned for you guys. But as you take a look outside over Doak right now, you can see the sun is shining. It is absolutely gorgeous outside right now. We're at 91 degrees now, just a few clouds passing by, but it is feeling quite toasty all around the Big Bend region. We can see our hot spot right here, 93 over in Quincy, 91 here in Tallahassee. So even though it is meteorological fall, it still feels a little bit like summer out there as we're seeing those temperatures really all across the board in the low 90s. But for your weather headlines tonight, we're going to be talking a lot about those 90s because, well, it's still quite warm outside, but things are starting to shift a little bit in our forecast as we got some rain on the way into next week. And with that rain, could bring a little bit of a cool down in our forecast. I'll have all that and more on FSU weather.
Good evening, everyone. I'm student meteorologist Daniela Streety, and we're bringing back former FSU team leader and AMS president Robert Zott. Welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you for the introduction. I have to first say, what a win on Saturday. What a win over Bama, taking on the number 8 team in the nation.
I have to boast, I stormed the field.
You know, I mean, you have to at that point. But it was a warm one, and it looks like we're having a warm one for this football game this next weekend, too. A noon game, going to be maybe in the 90s.
Yeah, and well, thankfully, this game is going to be a bit much drier actually than last week, and we did get a little bit of rain and that humidity. I felt like I was a seafood boil. I was getting steamed after that game.
This morning I woke up, it was in the 50s in Kansas City. I got down here, it was already in the 80s. I'm like, yeah, it's Florida. It's still in the summer.
Welcome back.
So.
It is Florida time all over again. Got to get acclimated. But yeah, we have lots of sunshine and plenty of it to go around for the next week. And let me get to you on what's going around in Tallahassee. Currently in the Doak Campbell Stadium, taking a look around Tallahassee, 91 degrees about right now, and it is staying pretty hot, and it is dry as well. So we're taking a look here. Well, not a lot of clouds in the sky. It's been a very, very pleasant late summer day for sure. So we're taking, yeah. So
it's definitely on the warmer side for sure, and yeah. Right
oh, there we go.
Yeah,
here's our look over Tallahassee, 91 degrees, a little bit of a slight breeze from the east-southeast. It's pretty dry outside, so thankfully that humidity is not making it feel much warmer than it already is. And take a look at the widespread temperatures across the Big Bend and South Georgia. We got 90s all around, maybe even some low 80s in Valdosta and Cross City. We're also seeing 85 in Apalachicola. So again, those upper 80s and 90s is typical for this time of the year, but thankfully we're going to hopefully see a cool down within the next week or so. Not an ounce of rain in the region either. We're staying fairly dry, and it'll stay like that overnight as well. We're going to expect clear skies into the overnight hours and even a slightly cool and dry start to your morning tomorrow morning to look forward to. Going into your Friday, maybe a spare shower or two, definitely a little bit of passing clouds, but overall we're going to see lots of sunshine in the Sunshine State, so get excited. It is a great time for some soccer tonight and into tomorrow going to class as well. So tonight we're going to see some 70s across the board, maybe even some upper 60s, 69 in Madison, Valdosta, and Thomasville tonight. And as we move into campus as well, it's not going to be much different. It's going to be about the same, partly cloudy skies, mostly calm winds. So if you're going to go out around campus tonight, it's going to be a great time to go out on a little cooler walk if you don't want to be out in the sun while you try to get your exercise in today. But for tomorrow as well, it's going to be much of the same. We have a cooler, comfortable start to our morning, but those temperatures will ramp up towards the afternoon, especially in the late afternoon where you see those 90s creeping back into the routine as usual. So out in Landis tomorrow as well, if you're going to be going to and from class, you're going to see, again, those low to mid 90s, but we'll have a little bit of a breeze and lots of sunshine to go around and enjoy. So definitely take it while you have it. Those rain chances are going to ramp up a little bit into the coming weeks, but again, it's going to be a slighter chance. We may have a weak cold front come through, and those are going to cool down those temperatures into the next 7 days. So lots of sunshine to go around, mostly a copy-paste forecast, but here you see going into early next week, those 80s and maybe even lows in the upper 60s. So we're going to take a look back here at Florida, yeah, for Robert. Robert, what's going on across Florida with sunshine all around? We got some rain. What's going on?
Right, Danielle. We have sort of a bit of a mix across Florida right now. Seeing some sun up near Panama City Beach, but then you look closer towards Tampa and Miami in the low to mid 80s here. We're seeing some storms around on Tampa and Miami, especially the further south you get. But Orlando, this I was saying when I got in earlier, was in the 80s, and it's still warm out there today. Across the state, still warm for most, even getting into the 90s here in Tallahassee with some clouds in the sky. But then look all the way down towards the south, getting to Key West. Some of that rain definitely helping to keep things a little bit on the cooler side, especially compared to the north here, where we stay mostly sun or cloud free, throughout the day today. West Palm Beach sitting at 80 and Key West at 78, seeing some showers and storms throughout, as has been the case through the day. For your forecast for this weekend, it looks like it's going to be a stormy one in Miami, up to 70 to 80% chance of rain and sitting into the mid to upper 80s throughout Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. But then for Tampa, going to be sitting into the upper 80s and possibly hitting that 90-degree mark on Friday. Some more intermittent rain chances. We have some sun peeking out behind those storms, but we do still have some storms around here. Moving up a little further north, cooling down still a little bit compared to Miami, around the mid 80s, maybe upper 80s breaking there on Saturday and Sunday, and then some intermittent chances, but watch that increase as we get closer towards Sunday, seeing almost 90% chance of rain in Orlando on Sunday. And then finally, making our way towards North Florida in the 90s, and some scattered chances for storms Saturday and Sunday, but hopefully relatively rain-free. Finally, Pensacola, 90s, and pretty similar story. So if you're going to the game this weekend here in North Florida, hopefully not too much of a chance of rain for us there. Here's a look at that live radar showing that chance for storms here, sitting around West Palm down to Fort Lauderdale, Miami. The I-95 corridor seeing a few showers and storms, pretty normal for these late summer, early fall conditions, possibly a few downpours there. And then we've seen this shield of rain ever since earlier this morning here, kind of dying off a little bit as closer it gets to the Keys, but still a little bit of rain over spreading the Everglades here, and it really has been over the last few hours. So adding to some of that rain here that we've been seeing over this summer for the Everglades, and we're going to continue to see that for a little while longer today. For the rest of Florida, it does clear out the further you get north, especially in the peninsula. You can almost see the clouds sort of forming the border with the I-4 corridor there. A few scattered showers here, especially closer towards Orlando and Daytona Beach, but really not too much in the way of storms for most of Florida once you get further north. But you do see a few scattered storms off the coast of Daytona Beach, just kind of falling apart as it gets closer towards the coast there. I haven't seen much in the way of that for that part of Florida here. But as a look for the broad view for your future radar, seeing this shower and storm activity really keep its way off towards the south, kind of just sticks around, stays in that pattern over the next sort of day here. This is 1 p.m. on Friday now, and seeing still some more rain down by the Everglades up towards Daytona Beach, but North Florida still relatively rain-free throughout the day on Friday. Getting into the evening, staying relatively the same. And then Saturday, we know we have some football happening. It's still clear here in Tallahassee, possibly a scattered shower, but not a high chance, unlike as you get towards Central and South Florida, where you do increase that chance of rain. And then as we get later into the weekend, possibly into Sunday, time for church for some, clearing out, especially across most of Florida, possibly a little further off towards the east, a few showers and storms. Here tonight in Florida, showing that we have some 70s for your lows here, and then getting into tomorrow, seeing the 90s for Florida, in the upper 90s for some, up 95 in Tallahassee, and then the 80s for West Palm and South Florida. Tell us a little bit more about what's going to be happening at the Rec, Chris.
Well, as you can just see outside right now, we just have picture-perfect skies. Look at these perfect, let's look at all those cumulus clouds, just very pleasant conditions as you step outside. Maybe you're playing some IM sports. I know those are kicking off soon. Maybe you're starting to practice because all those sports will be kicking off soon. But we're sitting at 92 degrees right now, so a little bit on the warmer side of things, but still absolutely gorgeous weather. And you can just see we had the same thing going on here in Shell Point Beach. A little bit cooler because of the water, so the breeze is going to also help to keep things a little bit cooler, but still gorgeous skies. I mean, look at this. We don't even have a cloud in sight, just plenty of sunshine to go around. Now, if you're going to be going out tonight, or maybe going camping perhaps, and maybe want to get your weekend started a little bit early, it is going to be 82 by 9 o'clock. We're going to cool off a little bit to about 75 by 1 a.m., but very pleasant conditions, and that's really the same story for our dog walk forecast. Now, I would say it is going to warm up pretty quickly once you get to 11 a.m. It's already going to be in the mid-80s. So I would say the best time to go take out your dog is around 7, where it's only going to be about 71 degrees. So again, very nice weather. You won't have to layer up too much, but very enjoyable weather. I mean, look at this. Perfect conditions at the pool. Not a lot of clouds to go around, so just plenty of sunshine and just whole lot of time to just enjoy that sunshine and just really refresh in the water. So maybe if you don't want to go to the beach or you don't want to go to the pool, but you do want to go to the beach instead for this weekend, if you're heading to Panama City, pretty nice, but maybe you can run into a little bit more clouds than what we saw over at Shell Point Beach. Still very nice though, 90 degrees on Saturday and 92 on Sunday. So very nice weather to go around. At our airports, though, no delays to worry about because we don't really have any rain or any significant weather events that's really going to slow down any of those planes. So no delays except for here in New York, but then again, it's New York. It's kind of what we expect, but everywhere else, all good to go. But here in Tallahassee, we do have a big game tonight against Stetson. Our women's soccer team is going to be playing. So if you're headed to the game, like I am, you should go support the Noles. It is going to be 72. So again, very nice conditions really throughout the game. And your ranked Seminoles are going to be playing East Texas A&M this weekend in Doak. Make sure to pack the stadium and get out there, support your Noles. It is going to be 88, so it is also noon kickoff, so it's really going to be quite a scorcher. So definitely put on some of that sunscreen because we're not really going to have a whole lot of clouds to help us. So definitely make sure to put on that sunscreen before you get to the game. Stay hydrated if you're going to the big game this weekend. But for your weekend forecast, very nice conditions to go around. Mid-90s across the board, but we're going to keep an eye out for some rain going into Monday because our temperatures are be cooling down a little bit, but really 90s across the board. But now we are going to wrap up our show over at the desk.
Right, Chris. In the 90s for those temperatures, they're pretty typical for Florida, but it's still going to be a scorcher when you go to the game this weekend.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I remember I was in Chiefs a couple years ago, and I remember what it was like having a noon kickoff and wearing the full jacket, and man, I was just drenched in sweat. So if you're heading to the big game this weekend, really got to stay hydrated. It is going to be a scorcher, so that's why definitely would recommend putting on sunscreen before heading out to the game. Support the Noles.
Right, exactly. Put on sunscreen, get that water, because it might not feel like it's that hot, but especially with the humidity, it can be really easy to sort of just make sure you're getting dehydrated there, or try and not get dehydrated, excuse me.
Exactly. So just got to make sure you're taking care of yourself. But I know I'm going to be at the game. Are you going to the game this weekend?
I'm going to the game, and make sure you go to the game. You can also send us photos at our social media. Follow us at FSU Weather on our Twitter.
And make sure to go check us out on Facebook. You can leave a like on our page.
And you can also follow us on Instagram at FSU Weather.
And also, don't forget to subscribe. You're watching us live on YouTube right now at FSU Weather.
And follow us at our TikTok at FSU Weather. Well, that's about it for us. Have a good night from meteorologist Robert Zott.